Tester. Excellencies, distinguished delegates. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the closing ceremony of London School Model United Nations 2020. After going through 2 days of a United Nations conference simulation with LSMUN 2020, we have now come to the very end of the event. We hope that every single delegate of LSMUN 2020 gained new experiences, networks, knowledge, and skills during the simulation. Before I continue, I would firstly like to give warm greetings to 3 special guests of the closing ceremony of LSMUN 2020. They are His Excellency Mr. Jauhari Oratmangun, Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia in People's Republic of China, His Excellency Mr. Al-Bushra Basnur, the Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to Ethiopia, Republic of Djibouti, and African Union, His Excellency Mr. Tantowi Yahya, the Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to New Zealand, Samoa, and the Kingdom of Tonga. Excellencies, we are very honored to have you here with us this evening. I would also like to give warm greetings to Mrs. Patricia Fikisi Hombing, MSE, Head of Student Activities of LSPR Communication and Business Institute, Ms. Cherry Mawuntu, MECOM, Club Coordinator for Communities Category, Dylan Huber, Vice President of LSPR Student League, Pinehas Danu Arvito, President of Youth Diplomacy Community 2019-2020, Rosintia Hadinata, Secretary General of LSMUN 2020, alumni of LSPR YDC, and Mrs. Gracia Paramita. In addition to that, thank you and warm greetings to sponsors of LSMUN 2020, ANT Production, and Holy Project. We would also like to thank you, LSPR Communication and Business Institute, as well as LSPR Youth Diplomacy Community. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, to begin this closing ceremony, we are now going to listen to an opening speech delivered by the Secretary General of LSMUN 2020, Rosintia Handinata. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rosintia Handinata.
Good evening, respective excellencies. His Excellency Al-Bushra Basnur, as the Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to Ethiopia, Djibouti, and African Union. His Excellency Tantowi Yahya, as the Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to New Zealand, Samoa, and Tonga. His Excellency of Jauhari Oratmangun, as the Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia for People's Republic of China. Greetings to the Vice Rector 3 of LSPR Communication and Business Institute, Mr. Taufan Teguh Akbari, PhD. Head of Student Activity, Mrs. Patricia Fikisi Hombing, MSE. Club Coordinator for Community Category, Ms. Cherry Mawuntu, MECOM. Dylan Huber, as the Vice President of LSPR Student League. And welcome to the LSPR YDC alumni, past president, and Ms. Gracia Paramita, all members of LSPR Youth Diplomacy Community, alongside with the Honorable Chair and outstanding delegates. After 2 days of discussion, meetings, drafting, and collaborating, we are arrived to the final event of LSMUN 2020. Awards maybe only fall to 8 or 12 of us, but the lessons and memories are within our self-progress to grow. Youth actions are varied and dynamic. By joining any action, we can bring impact whether to ourselves or to our surrounding. Older generation may lead, but youth is the machine of the system to run. Fill your machine with experience and lesson so that we can grow further according to what our heart has determined to. The Secretariat would like to express our deepest gratitude toward all distinguished delegates who's not only being original but outstanding, who's willing to try, prepare, and do their best on their performance in LSMUN 2020. Learning may be a part of development, and winning is a part of improvement, but there won't be any improvement without development. Honored by receiving an award may be a pride, but to finish something that we start is a competency that one should carry. Another gratitude I would like to express is to all of us, for the Secretariat, for the Board of DAES, LSPR Youth Diplomacy Community, LSPR Communication and Business Institute, to never stop learning and supporting each other. Learning is a process to grow, and there is no limitation on when should we say enough. Anyone, regarding their age and gender, are born equal, with the same right to learn. Positivity in both development and mindset has to create an escalation for one's quality. Delegates, as wise man has said, even every single drop in the ocean counts. Thank you, and have a nice evening.
Thank you very much, Rosintia Handinata, for the wonderful opening speech. Moving on, I would like to call upon the President of Youth Diplomacy Community, Pinehas Danu Arvito, to give his speech at today's closing ceremony. To Pinehas Danu Arvito, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Adi Yuwono. Good evening, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Firstly, I would like to express my gratitude to His Excellency Mr. Jauhari Orat Mangun, the Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to the Peoples of Republic of China, and also to His Excellency Mr. Albushra Basnur, the Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to Ethiopia, Republic of Djibouti, and African Union, and also to His Excellency Mr. Tantowi Yahya, the Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to New Zealand, Samoa, and the Kingdom of Tonga. And greetings to Mr. Tavan Teguh Akbari, PhD, Vice Rector of LSPR Communication and Business Institute, to Mrs. Patricia Fikesi Hombing, MSc, Head of Student Activities of LSPR Communication and Business Institute, to Ms. Cherry Indria Mawuntu, MECOM, Club Coordinator of LSPR Communities, and also to Dylan Huber, Vice President of LSPR Student League. And also, I would like to say welcome and thank you to the alumni of LSPR Youth Diplomacy Community, especially to Mrs. Gracia Paramita, and also to former presidents of LSPR Youth Diplomacy Community. For all of them, thank you for your attendance to this closing ceremony of LSMUN 2020. To the Secretariat and everyone in the committee who contributed to the LSMUN 2020, thank you so much for your excellent work. So many people have contributed in so many ways for LSMUN 2020. And I owe much gratitude to the Board of Directors, whom successfully turned the conference into an excellent activity and also a great atmosphere for discussion and networking. And it is fair to conclude that both WHO and UNEP conference was a great success. And also to all delegates of LSMUN 2020, thank you so much, and your enthusiasm became an energy for the Secretariat of LSMUN 2020 and also for LSPR Youth Diplomacy Community. I believe that you guys know that you should not stop here. You have to continue your journey, and bear in mind, the only impossible journey is the one you never began. And you already begin your journey to actualize yourself to LSMUN 2020, and for you, nothing is impossible. And always remember, we have to prove to ourselves that we want to achieve our dream so bad that we eager to achieve our dream. It's gonna hurt us not to get it. And that's when we will no longer be able to say no to our dream, and at that time, nothing can stop us. Thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Pinehas Danu Arvito. Now, I would like to call upon Mrs. Patricia Fikisi Hombing, MSE, the Head of Student of Activities of LSPR Communication and Business Institute. To Mrs. Patricia Fikisi Hombing, the floor is yours.
Greetings to His Excellency Mr. Jauhari Oratmangun, Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to the People's Republic of China, His Excellency Mr. Albusra Basnur, Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to Ethiopia, the Republic of Djibouti, and African Union, His Excellency Mr. Tantowi Yahya, Ambassador to the Republic of Indonesia to New Zealand, Samoa, and the Kingdom of Tonga. Greetings also to Mr. Taufan Teguh Akbari, PhD, as Vice Rector 3, Ms. Cherry Mawuntu, as the Club Coordinator of Communities, Cabinet Second Degree, and all members of Student League, Secretary General, and the Secretariat of LSMUN, Committee of LSPRYDC, and the Honorable Chairs and Delegates of United Nations Environment Program and the World Health Organization. The world is a foundation built upon histories, and histories of victories and failures. However, we have always been able to overcome. It is not guns and swords that win wars, but rather dialogues and conversation that are majorly led by the youth. As part of an institution that aims to ignite the flame of the youth, LSPR Communication and Business Institute has always been proud to be in possession of the youth diplomacy community that has always been a prideful gem of the democracy, negotiation, and justice. Through the years, the nation has always been amazed by what this community has achieved. And to top it all off, a world-class Model United Nations conference was decided to be, even during a dark time. To you, LSPRYDC, I say, well done. Through the barriers, you've achieved so much. Through challenge, you've won. And through the race against time, you've beat the odds. This year's theme, the race against time, is a clear indication that there is so much to do and so little done. It is of so much importance that the delegates that have taken part in this conference have hopefully come out with sound resolution that will hopefully be an answer for the world one day. In the simple terms of Barack Obama, yes, we can. Of course, delegates aim for peace and not struggle. Because when the power of love overcomes the love for power, only then will the world know peace. I personally hope that LSMUN can always be a learning process that shapes the delegate to be an outstanding personnel and able to reach success. Delegate may be able to grow while preparing themselves as future professionals. For LSPR YDC officers, always be able to actively contribute in youth action to grow and escalate their standard as LSPR Youth Diplomacy Community by optimistically and innovatively creating, regardless the situation. Thank you to each and every one of you, and congratulations.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Patricia Fikisi Hombing. Now, I would like to call upon the President of LSPR, my apologies, the Vice President of LSPR Student League, Dylan Huber, to deliver his speech.
To His Excellency Mr. Jawahari Oratmangun, His Excellency Mr. Al Bushra Basnur, His Excellency Mr. Tanto Wihaya, Mr. Taufan Tego Akbari, PhD, Ms. Patricia Vikisi Hombing, MSc, Ms. Cherry Maunto, MECom, the Secretary General of and Secretariat of LSPR MUN 2020, the Committee of Youth Diplomacy Community, chairs and delegates. Welcome to a platform of brilliance, a stage whereby it is not only about how you speak, but the sound of a youthful heart beating to the beat of democracy. A platform whereby we speak to move mountains in the direction of peace. A platform we call LSMUN. With that, I greet with all my heart. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Namo Buddhaya, Om Swastiastu, Salam Kebajikan, and greetings to everyone here in this conference today. Because greetings are the first place we start before we can make a difference, before we can make a conversation, before we can make a change. If not for the youth, then why a playground? The world is a playground filled with objects placed in order to harm us. The youth play an important role in keeping this place safe for all of us. YDC, or Youth Diplomacy Community, has dedicated themselves a loud hurrah for the display of bravado they have accomplished in the past 2 days. You realized the problem and you thought how to fix it. Talks of energy and the novel coronavirus will always be the elephant in the room, but you took that as a challenge. And as Ms. Patricia Vikisi Hombing said, you overcame it. I remember a story of a 13-year-old boy who attended an MUN conference. Nervous, quiet, afraid. He said nothing throughout the conference. And then at one point, the chair recognized him to speak for a resolution. This young boy, with no words, with total shy and so much fear, he had nothing to say so much that he just came up and said, "World peace." That same boy was asked to speak against the resolution, and all he said was, "World peace." This young boy became the laughingstock of that chamber. But then we all realized that that boy was not wrong, because everyone in the room had the same goal, world peace. It's just that it was said in different words. Ladies and gentlemen, that boy stands in front of you today, or rather speaks to you through a computer today, preaching the same message to everyone here, world peace. We have come a long way, and we, as the youth, we all have a different vision. But it is very clear and very obvious that we all have the same vision. Thank you for believing in that world peace. Because this 13-year-old boy started MUN at the age of 13, learned the power of democracy, learned the power of conversation, and one day hopes to be a diplomat for his nation. Thank you, honorable chairs. Thank you, delegates. Thank you, LSMUN. Thank you, Youth Diplomacy Community. You are giving the voiceless a voice. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dylan Huber. And now, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to warmly welcome you, His Excellency Mr. Jauhari Oratmangun, Ambassador of Republic of Indonesia in People's Republic of China. To His Excellency Mr. Jauhari Oratmangun, the floor is yours.
Being Vice Rector 3, my dear friend, Mr. Taufan Teguh Akbari, PhD, distinguished students and participants, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let me start by saying that hopefully in the near future, some of you will become diplomats. Of course, I would like to appreciate LSPR for the convening of London School Model United Nations. I did remember as a young diplomat when I served at the United Nations, I used to welcome participants of the UN model in New York and Geneva. And now I'm happy to see that LSPR already carry out the positive activities which contribute to the development of education and human resources in Indonesia. I do hope that LSPR will continue to support the efforts and policies of the government of the Republic of Indonesia, especially to win the war against COVID-19 pandemic. I'm still here in Yunnan, the province of Yunnan in China, because we just had a meeting with some of the vaccine producers here in China. The theme of LSMUN World Crisis Race Against Time, which discusses the phenomenon of the health crisis, geographical conditions, and climate change, is closely related to the current condition. This could contribute of public awareness, especially for the young generation of Indonesia regarding the importance of maintaining personal health and environment. Let me allude a little bit about the bilateral relation of Indonesia and China. This year marks the commemoration of the 70th anniversary of the establishment of the diplomatic relation between the Republic of Indonesia and the People's Republic of China. The relationship between Indonesia and China includes centuries of coexistence and cooperation. However, the mutually beneficial cooperation between the two countries has been immensely flourished in more recent times. The spirit of cooperation and collaboration under the framework of strategic comprehensive partnerships will continue to bring progress and prosperity for both Indonesia and China, and will further contribute to the peace, stability, and prosperity in the region and the world. The friendship of cooperation of Indonesia and China will become the source of strength to overcome various global challenges, particularly in the time of uncertainty amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Both countries continue to communicate, especially in the efforts to contain the COVID-19 pandemic through donation and online discussion between the medical experts from both countries. Cooperation in all sectors continues to be implemented, and various potential form new cooperation continues to be explored, especially in the digital economy and digital technology. The two countries have the potential to work together in the field of big data, artificial intelligence, through joint venture, joint research, or organizing global scale activities in digital economy and digital technology. The young generation is the prime mover of the nation development that will be a determinant of Indonesia's future. And I do believe on that. Thankful Indonesia, for the time being and the near future, has a very active, creative, innovative, and inspiring youngster. Indonesia's young generation will be the important element of the success in winning the COVID-19 pandemic. This is the perfect time for us to show our nationalism through discipline in maintaining our health, complying with health protocols for preventing the spread of COVID-19, and continue to create innovation with the new norms. That's why I would like to encourage positive activities which will improve Indonesia's positive image in the world as a contribution to the national development. I do hope that the event will be a successful and productive one, and do hope as well that the activities will become a good learning platform and bring benefits to Indonesia students. Of course, Indonesia Embassy in Beijing and other Indonesian representatives in China committed to support positive activities organized by LSPR. And I would like to see that many of you, the participants of these activities, as already mentioned in the early speech, will join the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and become the diplomats and serve at the United Nations and at the bilateral post in the very near future. Once again, congratulations and greetings from Yunnan Province, China. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, His Excellency Mr. Jauhari Oratmangun. Now, I would like to welcome you, His Excellency Mr. Al-Bushra Basnur, the Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to Ethiopia, Republic of Djibouti, and African Union.
Dear my young friends, London School Model United Nations Secretary General Ms. Rosintia Handinata, Board of Dias of London School Model United Nations 2020, President of Youth Diplomacy Community Mr. Pinehas Dano Arvito, Club Coordinator Ms. Cherry Indira Mawuntu, Head of Student Activities, Mrs. Patricia Vicky Sihombing, Vice Rector, Dr. Taufan Teguh Akbari, my colleagues, Excellency Tantowi Yahya, Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to New Zealand, Samoa, and Tonga. Good afternoon from Addis Ababa. I'm very delighted and excited to meet you all, my young friends, from our beloved London School of Public Relations Youth Diplomacy Community on the occasions of closing ceremony of London School Model United Nations. Well, today we live in the digital era, a fast-paced world, where information can spread in a count of seconds, where you can connect with anyone around the world at any time and anywhere you want. And it is happening right now. I am in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, Africa, and you are in Jakarta or other parts in Indonesia. We are separated by an approximate distance 8,000 kilometers. but digital technology help connecting us, and then we can talk to each other instantly and easily. It also happens among diplomats, representatives, delegates, and world leaders such as presidents and prime ministers. They communicate, discuss, and talk with their counterparts, facilitated by digital technology. On 22nd of September 2020, for instance, our president, the presidents of the Republic of Indonesia, Bapak Joko Widodo, delivered a virtual speech before the United Nations General Assembly. His speech covered by media and listened by people of the world because it was live broadcasted. Again, it is digital. In international relations, communication is very important for the betterment of states and nations. In international relations, negotiation skills are mandatory, mainly to defend the interests of parties. And in international relations, diplomacy plays an important role for the best of states and nations. Then, good to know, what is diplomacy? Diplomacy is the practice of conducting negotiations between the representatives of state or groups so as to influence the decisions and conduct of foreign governments through dialogue, negotiation, and other non-violent means. Diplomacy usually refers to international relations carried out through the intercessions of a professional diplomat with regard to a full range of topical issues. As we refer to diplomat as the main actor in international relations, so now, what is a diplomat? Diplomat is someone who is appointed by a nation state to represent and protect the nation's interests abroad. In modern diplomacy, there are a number of rank of diplomats, namely ambassador, minister, minister counselor, counselor, first secretary, second secretary, third secretary, and attaché. Well, today's digital technology has changed the work of diplomacy at an unprecedented rate. The interest of public community in international issues, in fact, is increasing significantly. Community involvement and engagement in many issues and diplomatic activities also continues to increase. And this is not without reason, my young friends. The government also realizes that public awareness and public participation in diplomatic activities have significant and positive impact on the success of countries' diplomacy. This is clearly seen, particularly in the public diplomacy activities and agenda. Now, I would like to ask you, what immediately comes into your mind when I mention the state of Japan, Korea, China, Italy, and United States? I believe, among others, sushi, K-pop, Kung Fu, pizza, and Hollywood. And my next question is, who told you all that? mostly non the government officials, but the community, the people. They can be entrepreneurs, artists, film producers, religious leaders, non-government organization activists, or journalists. And in Indonesia, the success of public diplomacy is due to 70% of its agenda carried out together with non-government actors, Indonesian community, including young people like you. Dear my young friends, being a youth in today's world, you have a very important role and responsibility to the best of our nations, Indonesia. Besides, you also have to actively take part in peace initiatives and international world order, as mandated clearly in the preamble of our 1945 Constitution. Finally, what you are doing now, today, at this very special event, it is part of your excellent joint efforts to create qualified, insightful, and well-trained Indonesian youth who will defend Indonesia's interest in bilateral, regional, and international forum. Whether later on you work as a career diplomat or not, you must remember, my young friends, that working for a better and defending Indonesia's interest in international forum does not necessarily have to be a career diplomat. Everyone can work for and on behalf of Indonesia in international relations, of course, for its best. Congratulations to all of you. I really appreciate your passion and hard work at London School Model United Nations. Thank you.
Thank you very much, His Excellency, Mr. Al-Bushra Basnur. Now, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, to the moment delegates have all been waiting for, we will now announce the awards for Best Delegate, Most Outstanding Delegate, and Best Position Paper from the World Health Organization Council. Therefore, I would like to kindly call upon the boards of directors from the World Health Organization Council, Shofi Natasha and Dias Maheswara Putra, to present the awards to the delegates.
All right. Hello, everyone. Hello.
Hello, Sophie.
All right. Okay. Perhaps we would like to announce who are going to be the best delegates, the most outstanding delegates, honorable mention, and also for recommendations and
Position paper. Yep.
All right. Okay, Dias. Perhaps it is your turn to announce the verbal recommendations, best
All
position
right.
paper, and also honorable mentions.
All right. Thank you, Sophie. Now I'm gonna announce the verbal commendation for the delegate from WHO, World Health Organization. Okay, the verbal commendation goes to the delegate of congratulations, delegate of United States of America and delegates of Colombia.
All right. Congratulations, delegates.
Next is for the best position paper from the Committee of World Health Organization. Okay, this delegate have a firm and consistent research, strong point towards the issue, well-conducted and proper research, understand its country stance very well, can elaborate the solution for its own country and all other member states of the WHO. So the best position paper for the World Health Organization goes to, drum rolls, the delegates of New Zealand. Congratulations. Congratulations, delegate of New Zealand, for the best position paper. Now we are going to the another awards. For the honorable mention from the WHO World Health Organization, this delegate have a very, very persistent to their country stance, have a reasonable arguments, and courage to take decisions and work out solution for all member states. And this award goes to, congratulations to the delegates of People's Republic of China. Okay, Sophie, now the time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Dias, for announcing the best position papers and also the honorable mentions. So we would like to announce the most outstanding delegate from WHO Councils. We're really excited. So this delegate shows a very great leadership and diplomacy skills. Also always engage and involved with the debate, very consistent with its contestants, and always attempt to give solutions and others to speak. So we would like to congratulate these delegates. Drum roll, please. Congratulations for Switzerland. Yay, congratulations, delegate of Switzerland. Next is the best delegate award. So this delegate managed to answer all the crises very well, show a great leadership and also diplomacy skill, managed to give very substantive and on-point speeches, and managed to speak in important things that need to be discussed. So without further ado, we would like to congratulate the delegate of, drumroll please, Latvia. All right, congratulations for all the delegates, and we believe that the rest of the delegates who have not received any kind of awards actually have give their best and also give their best potentials toward these consults. Thank you very much, and good luck, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for the award winner from the delegates of World Health Organization Council. Congratulations on the well-deserved award. Moving on to the next agenda. To cheer up today's closing ceremony, it is best if we turn to LSPR's amazing band. Without further ado, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome LSPR Band, which will perform Soleram.
Soleram dicium merahlah pipinya. 1, 2, 3 dan 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kalau Tuhan dapat kawan baru, sayang kawan lama ditinggalkan jangan. Kalau Tuhan dapat kawan baru, sayang kawan lama ditinggalkan jangan. Soleram, 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 anak yang manis, janganlah dicium sayang. Kalau dicium merahlah pipinya. Anak manis, janganlah dicium sayang. Kalau dicium merahlah pipinya. Jalan-jalan ke pasar baru, jangan lupa belilah roti. Ini lagu jalan tempo dulu, Tuhan mungkin sekarang dikenang kembali. Ini lagu jalan tempo dulu, Tuhan mungkin sekarang dikenang kembali. Soleram, 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 anak yang manis, janganlah dicium sayang. Kalau dicium merahlah pipinya. Anak manis, janganlah dicium sayang. Kalau dicium merahlah pipinya. Anak manis, janganlah dicium sayang. Kalau dicium merahlah pipinya.
Thank you, LSPR Band, for such an amazing performance. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, moving on, we will now listen to a speech delivered by His Excellency Mr. Tantowi Yahya, the Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to New Zealand, Samoa, and the Kingdom of Tonga.
Honorable Dr. Taufan Teguh Akbari, Vice Rector 3 of London School of Public Relations, the President, Secretary General, and Club Coordinator of LSPR Youth Diplomacy Community, whom I am proud of, all participants of Model United Nations, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good evening to all of you. Kia ora. As we are approaching the end of the program, first of all, allow me to convey my appreciations to the LSPR Rector and members of the faculty for having hosted this excellent program of London School Model of United Nations. I would like also to commend the moderators and panelists who have so ably steered very lively discussions, as well as colleague and conference participants who have spared their time and attentions to follow this program from the beginning. The theme, World Crisis, Race Against Time, and the sub-themes regarding renewable energy dilemma and coronavirus as spiraled pandemic fear were imperative, timely, and opportune, particularly given the current global health and economic circumstances. I believe during the program, we covered the various ways of overcoming the threats of COVID-19 pandemic and developing renewable energy and its benefit to people's life. Looking at the program schedule, I was nonetheless struck by your strong shared commitment to the development of environment-friendly renewable energy sources. This in itself signaled the need for global partnerships for development agreed upon UN conferences and summits. I'm also happy if there are many simple and practical solutions you propose. Your brilliant ideas, however, should not end here, but be piloted and carried forward. From my own perspective as the ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to New Zealand, Tonga, Samoa, Norway, and Cook Islands, as well as the Indonesian roving ambassador to the Pacific regions, I now wish to highlight a few simple messages on the responsibilities of the Indonesian youth diplomacy community in maximizing the development cooperations. First, the members of YDC should continue to train themselves under excellence and professional guidance of faculty members. However innovative your proposed solutions may be, a fair and adequate level of understanding of how international relations work is still indispensable. Second, by reviewing trends in social media use in the nowadays digital society, the Indonesians YDC should increase their presence towards regional and international youth community. Interacting with global communities will expand your knowledge on what the world needs in this typical time of pandemic. For this, I would encourage all stakeholders to come up with a plan of action and concrete steps for developing programs in the future. Third, I would like to stress the importance of paying your attention to our neighbors in the Pacific regions. Dubbed as the most congested region in the world from geopolitics influence competitions, the Pacific holds key roles in many global issues, including energy, environment, indigenous development, as well as our own Papua issue, which has been discussed widely among the Pacific countries. I can assure you that the Indonesian Embassy in Wellington, as well as our embassies across the Pacific regions, have worked very hard to deepen the bilateral and the regional cooperations. We also have involved local governments of the 5 Indonesian provinces that geographically located in the Pacific, namely Papua, West Papua, East Nusa Tenggara, Maluku, and North Maluku. However, without your roles, without the youth's participations, the Pacific will only be seen to others as our overlooked backyard. Therefore, it is in my hope that the theme of Pacific will emerge as the next YDC-MUN program. Moving ahead, the Indonesian Embassy in Wellington is preparing to hold the second Pacific Exposition in Christchurch next year. This event is the biggest trade exhibition in the Pacific region, showcasing all Indonesian Pacific culture as well as its economic strength. I'm confident that the economic cooperation will attract Pacific countries to hold strategic cooperations with Indonesia. As we fast approach the 2021, I would like to invite all of you to watch and participate in all our initiatives in the Pacific. An old Pacific saying goes, when you run alone, you run fast. When you run together, you run far. I'm sure that together we will run very far, and together we will make the Pacific loves Indonesia as their own family. I thank you.
Thank you, His Excellency Mr. Tantowi Yahya. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, we will now announce the awards for Verbal Recommendation, Best Position Paper, Honorable Mention, Most Outstanding Delegate, and Best Delegate from the United Nations Environmental Program Council. Therefore, I would like to call upon the boards of directors from the United Nations Environmental Program Council, Samuel Jose and Reynaldo Aria, to present the awards to the delegates.
Hi everyone, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible, Aldo. Okay,
All right.
so first of all, thank you and welcome to the awarding session of the United Nations Environment Program. So the first award that will be distributed is the verbal commendation. My partner, Reynaldo Aria, you may have the floor.
Thank you. So greetings delegates, my name is Reynaldo and I have been acting as the co-chair for UNEP for the last 2 days. I'm now going to announce several people that have gained a recognition from the chairs to receive the verbal commendation awards. One of these delegates has been able to provide a significant contribution to the delegates, but we see that this delegate has a really great room for improvement. So we hope for these delegates to stay in this circuit and to continue practice in these MUN circuits. So with that being said, we're going to call upon the first verbal commendation awards.
Go ahead, Aria.
The first verbal commendation awards goes to delegates of China. The second verbal commendation awards will goes to delegates of Finland. And last verbal commendation award will goes to delegates of France. Congratulations, delegates. We hope that you will continue to participate in MUN and will contribute not only to the circuit, but also to the society in general. Next, I'm going to announce the awards for the Best Position Paper Awards. Me and Jose actually have several difficulties in determining who should be receiving this Best Position Paper Award, as almost all of the position paper possess substantial qualities that makes them very hard to distinguish from one to another. But we see that this one particular position paper are able not only to present us a great contextualization of the topic, but also in terms of the solutions that they are presented. Therefore, the best position paper award goes to the delegates of Mauritius. Congratulations, delegates of Mauritius. The third awards that we would like to present is the Honorable Mention Awards. These delegates are able to provide a really great substance, has provided a really great mechanism to both of the topics, not only have presented a great contribution to the council as a whole, but has become a pioneer of their own block at the end of the day. These delegates provide us with a really great substantial quote that chairs believe that it is very hard for us to forget, and especially these delegates also possess a great sense of humor that are able to provoke fun to other delegates. Sadly, these delegates are unable to perform well in one qualities that we consider. Therefore, the Honorable Mention Award goes to the delegate of Netherlands.
Okay, thank you, Arya, for announcing the honorable mention, the best position paper and verbal commendation. A bit before I proceed to the most outstanding delegate award, please note that United Nations Environment Program itself have several contenders in which we are pretty much difficult to decide who will win which award because of the competitiveness and the substance quality from the council. But now, since the honorable mention is already being awarded, and now I will announce the most outstanding delegate. This delegate performs well in terms of substance and leadership. This delegate also managed to build a very good interpersonal connectivity with his or her fellow delegate. However, this delegate needs to improve more in regards of data and also actualization of its solution when it will be related into the past actions, and also this delegate, however, built a very strong block until the end of the committee session. Therefore, the most outstanding delegate award of the United Nations Environment Program and the winner of 750,000 rupiah is the delegate of congratulations, the delegate of South Korea. Okay, thank you. So the last award that we have, the last and the highest award that we have is the Best Delegate Award. When we're deciding this delegate to become the best delegate, we have analyzed and also, well, to be honest, for the Best Delegate Award, we have changed the name for the contenders several times. But finally, we have come into a solid decision after we consider the substance quality, leadership, contribution, diplomatic manner, and also the output of the debate itself. And we have come to a conclusion that this delegate be the best delegate and the winner of 1 million rupiah as the cash prize from LSMUN 2020. The best delegate award goes to the delegate of congratulations, delegate of I think that's all from UNEP. My name is Nino Samajuse, and I would like to thank everyone. Thank you, and have a nice day. Congratulations.
Once again, congratulations to the award-winning delegates from the Council of WHO and UNEP. Each winners will receive 1 million rupiah for best delegate, 750,000 rupiah for most outstanding delegate, and 500,000 rupiah for honorable mention. Well deserved. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the closing ceremony of London School Model United Nations 2020. First of all, we would like to thank you, His Excellency Mr. Jauhari Oratmangun, Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia in People's Republic of China, His Excellency Mr. Albushra Basnur, Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia in Ethiopia and Republic of Djibouti and African Union, His Excellency Mr. Tanto Wiyahya, Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to New Zealand, Samoa, and the Kingdom of Tonga, for giving their time to attend today's ceremony and give their wonderful speech. Again, Excellencies, thank you very much. We would also like to thank you, all the speakers at today's closing ceremony, and to the main sponsors of LSMUN 2020, ANT Production. Thank you to LSPR Communication and Business Institute. Thank you to LSPR Youth Diplomacy Community. And thank you to LSPRTV as our media partner. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, and not to mention, thank you to all the participants of London School Model United Nations 2020 and everyone involved. We hope everyone had an amazing experience with LSMUN 2020, and we are looking forward to seeing you again on next year's LSMUN. To close this ceremony, there will be one last performance by LSPR Band, which will perform Stuck With You. My apologies, which will perform Stuck With You. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and see you on the next LSMUN.
Stick around. Once try get her out, baby. Don't care if probably sound crazy, but you never let me down. No, no, that's why when the sun's up, I'm staying, still laying in your bed singing. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Got all this time on my hand, might as well cancel our plan. Yeah, I could stay here for a lifetime. So lock the door and throw out the key. Can't fight this no more. It's just you and me, and there's nothing I can do. I'm stuck with you, stuck with you, stuck with you. So go ahead and drive me insane, baby, run your mouth. I still wouldn't just me. Stuck with you, stuck with you, stuck with you. I'm stuck with you, stuck with you, stuck with you, baby.
So where you be? No, no, no.